Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series as we are here, race number 13. That means we got tonight and next week at Watkins Glen before the chase starts, and we have our 12 drivers going forward right now. There's certainly a few drivers that are pretty much locked in on points, but the bubble is a lot closer, and there's still a lot of drivers that can make their way into the chase here. You can't win and in, as it took us about half of the regular season to figure that out, but wins certainly help you, but it's not a win or in situation. We've had plenty of different winners here so far this season. Excuse me. As a new winner last week at Bristol Motor Speedway was Austin Smith getting it done. Week before that, it was Justin Potts getting his second win of the season. So we'll see if we get a new win here tonight at Richmond, one of the short tracks here on the schedule. And man, it's a tough little stretch here, not just at the end of the regular season, but even once the chase starts, because we had Bristol last week, even Pocono the week before is not exactly easy. Richmond here tonight, tough little short track, 3/4 mile, and pretty flat. And then next week we have the road course as well, so tough stretch. And then, oh, by the way, Talladega starts the chase in September. Cortland, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Coer. Jimmy, last chance at an oval to put some points down in there and get yourself into the that top 12, because Watkins Glen looms next week.
Yeah, I mean, you can see by the points, the bubble points here at the bottom of the screen. I'll leave it up there for a little while for everybody to see how close it is. But yeah, Thomas O'Connor, 18 points above the bubble. Brewer on the bubble, so 9 points positive over Ledford back there, and 14 points back from the bubble. 21 points back from the bubble, the number 19 Handler, and then Smith, the number 48, only 26 points. There's 23 drivers out here, so anything can kind of happen here for tonight at being at Richmond. And it is over a half a mile. Richmond is in that obviously that short track round, I keep calling it, but it is a little quicker here tonight as well. So these drivers are going to need to be patient out here and to kind of get things done. But we'll go ahead and give the starting order for your favorite drivers here tonight. And Dylan Jacobs with the number 5 will be on the pole here. But Ryan Sizemore in the number 31 on the outside. Justin Potts, winner not too long ago, up there in 3rd with Dylan Emerson in the 6th, looking for a win this season. Josh Duncan in 5th, Kelly Atkins in 6th, Matthew Hake up there in 7th, Dylan Large in 8th, Tiffany Ellis back in 9th, Kyle Emerson in 10th. You have Thomas O'Connor, TJ Hanley, Cody Brewer, Jay Monin, Austin Smith, Michael Garcia, Joshua Smith, Cody Handler for your top 18, and then your rest of the field, starting with 19th is Bruce Spencer, Ron Millam, Austin Wells, Will O'Connor, and Brian Roy.
Good size field out here tonight under the lights here at Richmond, and excuse me, we'll see who's got the hot shoe here tonight. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. And of course, want to thank our sponsors here for the series as well, that being Maximum Edge Graphics and Axtrium for everything that they do here, as it's time to get this thing underway. As for some reason, it seems like mine has completely frozen up on me here, so I might have to do a little bit of a refresh here. We'll see if this works here. But either way, we're gonna have 100 laps here under the lights. We'll see hopefully a better race this week. I know it's been a little rough as of late, but you never know. Sometimes it takes one of these tougher tracks to kind of kick everybody back in gear.
Yeah, sometimes, and I gotta make sure I'm gonna do a refresh. I see some new paints out there for the field, as it is it video? I think it's video game night. Yeah, so you might see some new paints out there by drivers and out here. But the 5 taking an early lead here as they're under green now, but the 89 not holding back. Justin Potts looking to get down to the inside of the 5 here to take the lead away from the 5. Dylan Jacobs in an incident with Dylan Emerson here on after the first lap. They just crossed the start-finish line. Let the system here figure out what colors they want to put on the cars here tonight. But go ahead and take a look back here at what happened and see the 77 down, and then just trying to catch it.
Wow.
Takes a sharp right. Wow.
I mean, what What was that? Like I'm questioning myself. I know on Sunday nights, if it was on Sunday night, I'd say okay, well clearly it was another net code, a horrible net code, but I don't know what that was. I guess a little bit of a net code right there between the 77 and 66, but looks like maybe just the correction really snapped that 77 to the left, to the right, and into the back of that Batman Arkham Asylum at number 6. Pointing backwards now. Nobody walking away with a meatball on this one, but certainly some damage to both the 6 and the 77 on this one. And luckily, the rest of the field seems to have gotten by for the most part. I don't think there was any other incidents there, but Dylan Jacobs is going to be your leader after that is all said and done. Then we got the 89 of Justin Potts up 1 spot, Ryan Sizemore in 3rd, Matthew Hake, Tiffany Ellis for your top 5. As we take a look at some of those fresh new paint schemes there on the video game night here.
Yeah, Tiffany Ellis definitely busy, and Grand Theft Auto 6. Everybody's waiting for that one. Work is. I think they're going to make it a holiday when that thing finally comes out. As we go back through the field here, and even the drivers that maybe not participating in the video game still got some great looking cars out there. Destiny, I used to play that like it was worse than the iRacing. Joshua Smith out there. Still a lot of standard cars out there, but more Grand Theft Auto, just different color. Crazy Taxi. Got some time
and I think it's coming back as well. I think they're doing a remake of that.
Yeah, some nicotine pouches, some Turok. There's a good one. That was a good one on the Nintendo 64. I mean, Bass Pro Shops. I mean, there is fishing games out there. Maybe not Bass Pro Shops in general, but there is some fishing games out there. Even with the tool cars, there is some Bob the Builder or something out there for sure. Somebody baseball games out there for sure. Josh Duncan and then what is that? Carnage? No, beer.
I'm just in the
garage beer. Garage beer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Will O'Connor, as you can see with that Assassin's Creed, and see with the Dylan Emerson there with the Batman machine. So some really good looking machines out there tonight, but we're more interested in this points race. Go ahead and flash that up there on the bottom there so you can see how close it is and how, where anybody kind of needs to finish. I guess the people that would be looking for a great finish here is Ledford, and I don't see him in the field tonight. So maybe Will O'Connor, see if he can pull something up, but he's in the back. So he's got some work to do tonight if Will wants to get up on that chase roster. But out front here, with Dylan Jacobs going to take the lead again, but Justin Potts again striking down to that inside here with that number 89.
We're going to have another caution here as it looks like a few cars getting involved in this one, Cody Brewer being one of them. A 3-wide action here, and 10 just losing it by himself on the inside of this one. And going to bring us under a second caution. I don't think anybody else got involved in it. I think everybody just kind of diving around to the outside to get it done there. But Cody Brewer going to bring Austin Wells. So I don't know why it said Cody Brewer crashed. We just brushed the ball during this incident here, but it's definitely the 10. Oh, no, there we go. Got a little help there from the 25 of Kelly Akron. I think that might have been after the caution was out.
Yep.
Unless maybe the caution didn't come out for the 10 yet, because right there it's still green. Mm-hmm. So this is actually the cause of the caution here, and there we go. That's what I seen with a couple of cars involved. So Ryan Roy comes in there late, gets involved in this one, and that right there is officially what brought out the caution.
Yeah, so Austin Wells not bringing out a caution, just down there on the inside off the track, but probably quite happy that something else happened here, but not looking good, as it's definitely a rough start. We're trying to control these cars here, keeping them down the track, and they are very difficult to catch. So as you can see how easily they can go around here as well. And could be we could be in for a long one, but even the pace laps, I guess, aren't too terribly bad. Probably 30-40 seconds, vice the 20 seconds at full speed. So it's one of those nights. I think once it gets settled down here, I think we'll get going. But you got to be careful if using fast pairs early. You got to be careful for the remainder of the race. as we're on lap number 9 of 100. Dylan Jacobs, Justin Potts, Matthew Hake, and Carl is just prior to this, obviously had my hands full as I got myself a 2X. I guess I was able to drive away, and but heavy rain down here in Florida, trying to make a turn, and people not turn on headlights in the dark and rain. I don't get it, and I'd probably be at fault, but definitely I'm safe. I'm not hurt or harmed. Nobody was hurt or harmed. Just some scraping.
Did you have the dry tires on? Did you have the wet tires on? That's the question. I
wasn't in the car very long. I think they were still cold. Okay.
Your first stint. Okay.
Cold, wet tires.
Yep. You got to warm those things up. Forget what the cops say. You got to weave back and forth. You got to warm those tires up a little bit. But
whatever. We're gonna get this thing back going. We can talk more about that later for sure. I'm still kind of shaken up for it because your life flashes before your eyes when you're about to hit another vehicle in real life. Anyways,
sometimes virtually too.
Yeah.
It does happen virtually.
It's not as bad. And I will say, it might be my reaction because I've raced so much, or maybe it would have been on a head-on collision here with somebody, and that I think that would have hurt because I think she was going about 30 miles an hour. So, and I was about to stop, so it would have hurt just a little bit. I don't think I would have died, but definitely would have been a little painful. But we're back under green here. Dylan Jacobs back out front one more time, but this time the 83 of Matthew Hake up 5 spots, making some moves early. Even the Northern Caution sends it down, taps the 5, goes up high. Here comes the 9. Everybody's slowing up. The 5 still trying to save it.
I was about 16 saves in one right there, but we're gonna have a caution. Not sure if that's what brought out the caution, if there was something else.
I think back here in the back, you had Cody Handler and
Cody Brewer. Cody on Cody action here. I'll just keep it cross, and then man, same thing, just trying to catch it, and didn't happen. It was at the 6. It looked like came down into the 19 to kind of start this one off here. But man, that 5 got shuffled back quite a few spots here as well. I think the caution is going to help him out to gain some of those back, but. Well, clearly, you see, Jimmy, you don't want to try and correct the car to the right. These things are balanced to turn one way, not the other. I know they're a little bit better, when it comes to the road courses, they balance them out a little bit more. But here on these ovals, they're balanced to turn to the left, and that's it. And you turn them to the right, and it throws them all out of whack. Clearly.
Just crazy. So I'm gonna take down the chase bubble here for now, and so you guys can see who I'm actually focused on. But you can see here a lot of good-looking cars. Yeah, I know Tiffany was extremely busy talking to her a little bit on Monday night, doing some road racing. There's a lot of drivers, a few drivers come out. We'll say that. Usually a handful of drivers come out trying to learn or practice maybe some newer tracks and get out there and run some GT3 cars and actually get some right-hand turning on. And we took to Laguna Seca. It was Sonoma the week prior to, so got Sonoma on the brain because I hate that track. But Laguna Seca did not start out well for me. Wheel problems. I couldn't shift, so I had to take the car in the pits on our pace lap, and then I start in the pits, and as they go by, then the crew decided to put new tires on my car that never used them. So I had to click that off real quick and get out there. So starting back in the pack to getting up there and finishing back there, and I think it was 4th, I think, this week. So either way, it was still a lot of fun just to kind of go around Laguna Seca, and first time on the new Laguna Seca, to be honest, and just kind of expecting maybe, I don't know. I mean, it was I thought it was nicer. I will say that I think it was nicer than the Legacy one.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely seemed like you could attack it a little bit more. But there's still the typical corners that you had to worry about overdriving them a little bit, and the corkscrew, you could kind of attack it a little bit more, and I feel like you could really cut it on the exit a lot more than normal without getting that slowdown penalty as well. I know I was taking a good chunk of that out of there, but it's a little sketchy as usual. But based on the week that Jimmy's had so far, I'm going to apologize to everyone out there in Sierra Nation if something happens happens with the feed here tonight. If this all of a sudden cuts off for some reason. I mean, his virtual car wasn't working right. His IRL car, well, we heard about that already. God knows what's going to happen to the broadcast before we're done here tonight. But either way, it is Justin Potts leading him back to the green flag here tonight. Dylan Jacobs trying to fight back on the outside as he got shuffled back quite a few times there, but the car's coming out at the right time to get him back up into second at least as he heads off down the backstretch.
We won't mention that the car, my IRL car, I only made one car payment on it. So there's that. So, I guess get the scratches and bumps out of the way for me early on, just like a typical race in iRacing. So it's just transferring too much sim time. I guess I need to go fishing more. I don't know. But Justin Potts hops out front early this time here, and number 89 gets out front of Dylan Jacobs. And Ryan sees more there. And Matthew Haig in fourth with Tiffany Ellis crawling up into Pete, number 5. So that brings out, there's some movement amongst the cars. Brian Roy making some moves up there in the Pete, number 13. But we're going to go back under caution. This time for Jay Monin. We'll go back and catch and see what happened with the number 67. And just overcorrection again. Saves it from the left, going left. Goes right, keeps off the wall, but doing some dirt tracking here.
Fancy drift.
And still drafting, probably trying to take it easy so that car won't snap. And there it goes. Finally snaps to the right, catching the grip that it needed, and gets up on the wall. It does look like a single car spin here tonight for the number 67. So another caution flies here on lap number 17, and it's kind of hard to believe we're already at lap number 17, now on 19. With the fourth caution now, so already a fifth of the way through the race. But I think we're gonna maybe get some green flag running in here. I'm hoping, and if not, everybody out there is gonna start calling Richmond the short track they hate, or the Martinsville of the season.
And I wasn't here for Bristol last week on vacation, so I'm not sure how that short track went, but that one at least has some banking. Here at Richmond, it is flat, and it can be very tough. And you see, again, clearly these cars cannot turn to the right on this backstretch. It's only got a little bit of banking, but these cars are just not set up that way to be able to correct it on the backstretch. And it's almost to the point where you want to reach out and tell the drivers, like, hey, listen, if you find yourself down on the bottom on the backstretch, keep it down there in the bottom. Sacrifice turn number 3, and not sacrifice your front end or anything else front end, and get just absolutely destroyed. But yeah, I was gonna say you get me double. But I was the one on vacation. Well, Jimmy was taking a mental vacation apparently. But
I need a vacation. It's not coming fast enough. I don't go on vacation until. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I won't be here for the New Hampshire, or I won't be here for the Chicago race. Yeah, so Carl will be up here in a booth to either solo or with a partner, whoever decides to choose to be up here. Maybe somebody who's taking a break who just wants to come up and get some booth time. Carl always likes some company up here. We don't mind bringing visitors up here every now and then. It's always fun to look at the driver's side and how things are going out there. Let them see the other side of the camera for once as the drivers get around here. But, we're at lap number 22, Carl, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up the timing tower, and you can see only a few cars coming in for pit stops, and those are probably the ones that have been in the incidents. I got Smith that was on lap 2, Emerson on lap 3, Duncan was in on 1. A couple drivers ran on 12, and then a few more here on lap 19. And, we obviously super early in the race. We have a number in mind of where the where the fuel should extend to, but with these cautions, that's going to push that out. So, but we should still have at least one caution, if they were to go green from here on out. But we're going to get going back green or 2 wide. The pace car is in, and on the loud pedal, Justin Potts is in it here as he gets a nice jump there and creating a pretty good gap there for Ryan Seasmore to follow. Down to the inside as Dylan Jacobs on the outside, and then you got Matthew Haig back in there as well. Tiffany Ellis trying to get that Crash Bandicoot machine up there, and yeah, maybe I should wrap my Mazda with some Crash Bandicoot here.
We got to talk to Kim from Kim's Cups and More to get a little wrap going
And
on there. For
another
that.
caution.
Oh yeah, we are under another caution here. It looks like Cody Brewer involved in this one, as we just can't get these tires warmed up. Unfortunately, we'll see if this is another overcorrection here or we got something else here. There's the 88 of Cody Brewer on the outside, and man, I don't know if that was net code or not, but that thing just washed out all of a sudden coming out of turn number 2. It looked like maybe he just jumped on the throttle a little bit too early coming out of the corner, and that back end stepped right out on him.
Yeah, it's easy to do, with these cars that have that rear step out, and if they're, you hit the wrong part of the track and it's not ready, just kind of going. Let me pause this just 1 second. I want to change it to the chase so you can kind of get an idea what's going on here. If I do this, I can back this up a little bit for everybody to see, get a little better idea behind the 8 here, and we'll slow it down here, and you can just see him kind of just going through everything that's going good right here, and then just gets down in here, and let's see if any net code. Nope, the rear end just kind of steps out. So just looks like the 88, just a little bit too much throttle, wasn't quite settled down, and putting that right rear into the wall there, and just locking up the brakes and doing the best he can to be as predictable as a slide can be, and starts releasing as the cars go by. And I think that was Jay Monin having some issues up there as too. Jay Monin's going to tag the wall here again. So 67 not having the night he would like to have, and he was just trying to get around the incident.
I think that west side number 88 may need to put an underline under it was a good day. A little bit damaged now on the back of the 88, but yeah, Jay Monin unfortunately finding himself into the wall here once again. Going to bring us another caution, but yeah, as Jimmy said, that the caution laps fly by here at Richmond. I know these drivers don't want to pace this thing around for 100 laps, but we're already a quarter of the way through this race. It is ripping by pretty quickly here, and unfortunately, I don't think this is necessarily at the point where it's cautions breeding cautions. It's not from drivers trying to be over aggressive on each other, knowing that the next caution will be coming out here pretty quickly, so they're trying to rush and get some positions here. I think it's just the drivers trying to figure out these cars here. Maybe it's the lights coming on here and the temperatures dropping here a bit as the sun starts to set here at Richmond. Not sure what exactly it is here. I know they you can't really judge it by practice. I know they were struggling a little bit in practice, but more often than not we see a lot of leagues, you get in there and like, oh man, they're everybody's spinning out, everybody's wrecking in practice. Well, yeah, because the drivers are trying to figure out the limits of the car. It's what you should be doing in practice to try and figure out what your car can and can't do. But it looks like we're going to go single file for the restart here, as Justin Pott's going to lead them back to the green flag, and maybe we'll call from the admins here. Hey, let's get this thing stretched out a little bit. Let's get a few laps under our belt, and then we'll go back to double file. But right now, Potts, Sizemore, Jacobs, Hake, and Ellis for your top 5. Thomas O'Connor, Large, Hanley, Akron, and Smith for your top 10. That's Austin Smith in the top 10 as Jimmy. You got a green flag lap right there.
Whoa, amazing. I'm just kidding. These guys are awesome to be around. And, Carl, we've been hanging out with a few of them on Monday nights, so it's good to kind of
the ones that aren't scared to run road.
Yeah, stop it in the alternate box that Tiffany allows for the drivers to say whether they're going to be there or not. It's if we could get them to stay too, give everybody more fast prepared. They wreck their car, come in, get the fast prepared, come back out, get on that track. I have no problem with racing somebody and trying to take my time to get around them, to kind of show that you can race, corners that aren't typically meant to be too wide on a road course, and do it anyways, because it's fun and it's a challenge, and so that just makes not only me better, but it gives newer drivers the awareness to kind of to see what happens when you go too wide in places that aren't meant for it. And actually, there's a few out there that got some really good pace, Carl, and they're getting tougher and tougher. I don't know if it's just the added pressure, maybe they're practicing a little more to make sure that they can stay up in front of us as long as possible, but it's definitely been a lot of fun on Monday nights. So I don't know if it's something they want to keep doing, but you know, they got all kinds of like little, like, you know, if you win, you get these little trophies, and they got or a sticker or whatever, and they're really cool. I mean, the trophies they get for each track. Got one of the drivers that has been it's Austin, or Joshua Smith, making some trophies, and man, they're beautiful. The pictures that they have on the Discord and stuff, but they're quite nice. And whoever's coming up with them, but to take the time to 3D print those out and then ship them out to the drivers each week. I mean, it's just an amazing thing that they've been doing here. So definitely shout out to the people that like that in the league that have that talent, because they look really nice. But we're looking nice right now, though, with the 89 of Justin Potts out front, and they're looking for another win here. Ryan Sizemore there, P2, Dylan Jacobs in third, Matthew Hake back and forth with Tiffany Ellis in your top 5. Thomas O'Connor there in P number 6. And I know we were looking at Will O'Connor, as he's on probably the closest one to the bubble that could make it, so that Assassin's Creed machine will need to work his way up through the field to see if he can do it here tonight. Because we know we've seen Will up there before, so see if he can have a better night than his start that he's had here so far. But Carl Quantum up number 37 and 100.
Again, it's clicking by here pretty quickly. A third of the way done here tonight. Potts, Sizemore, Jacobs, Hake, and Ellis for your top 5. And really, it's only been Dylan Emerson, the biggest faller of the race, started up there in 4th and had the early incident that sent him back to the back of the pack. He's worked his way back up to 16th position, but he's one of the drivers that is well inside the cut line as it stands. I mean, certainly you don't want to flirt with a few bad races in a row to start, falling back down the standings here. But coming in, it is Dylan Jacobs, Justin Potts, Tiffany Ellis, Ron Millam, Josh Duncan, your top 5 in the points. TJ Hanley, Dylan Emerson, Kyle Emerson, Austin Smith, and Matthew Hake, your top 10. And that's where it gets close. For 11th on back with Thomas O'Connor, Cody Brewer just above the cut line, and then Chris Ledford, unfortunately, looks like not here tonight. Going to be a big uphill battle at Watkins Glen, and maybe too big to get himself in the points. William O'Connor down there below the cut line, as is Cody Handlers. At 77 gets a little loose in turn number 3, but it looks like he's going to be able to hang on and save that one. And Josh Duncan is one that he started off the season really hot. He's kind of leveled off a little bit here, but still 5th place in the points. So everything will reset once it comes to the chase, and we'll start off there at Talladega. And again, tough spot to start it off when it comes to playoffs, chase, anything you want to consider it. You start off at a super speedway, it can get a little hairy because you don't know how you want to handle it. I mean, you want to start off on the right foot, you want to finish well, but in the same case, that one little crash could really start off your chase in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks. It's anybody has a chance to win. It could be a non-chase winner. Go up front, they got nothing to lose. But I think there's some incentives to basically attend. But besides, wow, I was close to by TJ Hanley, almost getting into number 26 there, driving into the corner, maybe just a little bit too deep there, but able to get by. No contact here. So getting real deep in the corner, just slid out pretty quickly, and almost caught number 26. But out front now, it's Justin Potts. I'll go ahead and turn the camera around. You can see Dylan Jacobs back there kind of hanging out, and pretty sizable lead these two have over your 3rd place right at the moment here with Ryan Sizemore and Matthew Hake, as they're side by side. Matthew Hake goes down to the inside there. Excuse me, that's Austin Smith going down to the inside, but 3 wide behind, and Tiffany Ellis. And a caution coming out here for Ron Millam going off track. See what happens.
Went out of the corner just a little bit too goosey on the throttle, and it's going to send him around here, and that should put everybody in the window to make it the rest of the way. So even though it's still first half of this race, you gotta feel like you need to come in and take tires right here, because you're going to be filled up on fuel. You can make it to the end here on fuel, so we should see the entire field come into the pits.
Yeah, they can more. They'll more than likely make on fuel. So if you don't have to come into these pits under green flag conditions, I would suggest it coming in if you haven't already. There's a few cars on the lap down, so probably wanting to get back on the lead lap. So you might have Monin and Spencer stay out, and they would get a wave around and get back up there on the lead lap. But Kelly Akron, maybe a few drivers staying out here. You got Kelly Akron was in on lap 5, and you got Garcia Smith and Handler for your top 4. So Carl, a few drivers staying out. They were in on lap 14, so they got some more time to go, and they're still, I don't think, safe.
Now
being able
they're
to
in.
make it away. Oh, they're entering in now.
It looks like Handler's the only one that's going to stay out. He's in a lap number 19. Maybe with some more cautions, we'll be able to stretch it out all the way to the end. It's a pretty big ask for sure, but looks like the other 3, Akron, Garcia, Smith, all now come into the pits and sacrifice their positions up at the front. Maybe just want to get up there and get a lap led. So it's going to hand the lead over to Cody Handler. Well, Justin Potts going to be starting on the outside of him, unless Handler chooses the outside, that is. Matthew Hake, Dylan Jacobs, Austin Smith, your top 5, Dylan Emerson, TJ Hanley, Thomas O'Connor, Brian Roy, and Tiffany Ellis for your top 10, as we should see the pace car lights go out next time by. And we'll get this thing back underway as we're closing in on the halfway and not there quite yet. A few cautions here in the first half of the race. Had a nice little run there, about a 22 lap run under green. And hopefully we'll see a good long green flag run at the end of this thing to decide who's going to get the win here tonight. Handler, it looks like he will, well, he's going to be choosing the line because we're going to go single file here once again.
Yeah, single file. I don't know if it necessarily helps, but obviously it does stretch the field out. You can see, I put the track map up as VLC. Here somewhere, folks. There it is. One of 500 buttons that are on my screen for trolling a race. You just sometimes overlook it. It's not even like huge, it's not even a special color, nothing. We're back on the green here with the pit road speed limit racing here at Richmond. Cody Handler is your leader, currently out front, but at the 89 just going underneath, and the 19 was able to kind of pinch him down there and slow down that run, but the 89 looking, got that hole there, gets driven down there. You just got to be careful just to make sure the 19's clear, but 19 off the wall.
It looks like heavy damage to the front of that 19. I know Handler, another one below the bubble, needed a good finish here tonight. Was running well there, but you got to keep that thing off the wall. You got to keep it clean. Now he's going to lose a bunch of spots and have a bunch of damage on that 19 here as well. So he falls back out to the back half of the top 10. Close to contact there between Roy and Sizemore. We keep this thing going in green. Justin Potts back to the front. Matthew Hake now up into second place. Dylan Jacobs there in third. We'll see if Jacobs can get around Hake and make it a 2-car breakaway again, as him and Justin Potts had a big breakaway, but 3 wide here into turn number 3.
Short tracks, you don't typically see 3 wides. That's why it's hard to say Richmond's like a short track, because there's it's usually 2x2, the majority of the time, and but right now kind of single and file out. But you can see that 3 wide back there. It's kind of they're doing it again. Some brave individuals back there, but the 19 losing some spots, but holding on to that middle line there is the new tires are starting to kind of take over. 30, 40s laps, even though there's a bunch of cautions in there, it's still going to be a big difference here at a short track, where you need as much grip as possible. Out front by about half a second now over Dylan Jacobs is Justin Potts. Back in third, Austin Smith, and then fourth, Dylan Emerson. TJ Hanley is up 7 spots now. He's in the top 5. Thomas O'Connor in the 18 in 6th. Tiffany Ellis still in the top 10 in 7th, up 2 spots. And then Brian Roy, we've been watching him take advantage. Another caution coming out, but this time for Matthew Hake.
Let's take a look back here and see what happened to the 83. as looks like just the same situation that we've seen a couple times from drivers here tonight. A little bit too heavy on the throttle coming out of the corner. Does a good job locking up, staying there on the bottom. Other cars involved in this run, and no damage to the 83 other than to the track position he had and his pride, certainly. But we'll see if he comes in to get some tires. Haven't seen Kyle Emerson in the pits yet, at least on my SDK. It's not showing that he pitted at all yet in the number 60. But again, all these drivers are good to go to the end if they come in the pits on lap number 46, or if they come in from now on, they should be good to go all the way to the end. And we'll see Brewer, Hake, Duncan in to pit lane. Will O'Connor still in pit lane, and he is one of the cars that is down, looks like 2 laps now, is the 24, so his chances of making that chase getting a little bit slimmer.
Chase, I will go ahead and bring those numbers up here one more time at the bottom of your screen. You can see how close they are. So you got the Ledford is 9 back, and then you have Will O'Connor back 14 points, and then the 19 of Cody Handler down 21 points. So they got to beat obviously at least the number 88, and the 88 right now not on track. So that's concerning. Well, no, there he is. He's back in 18th. So the 88 was trying to stay out there, trying to make sure he gets into that chase. But we've seen some pretty decent runs there by the 88, and trying to get that machine back up front here tonight, and then make sure he's in that chase as Will O'Connor and the 19 of Cody Handler are looking to maybe push him out and get in his spot. So I don't know if Thomas O'Connor, he's 18 points up, so he'd have to be, I think, have like a pretty bad race. But Thomas O'Connor currently in the top 10, sitting in 6th, so pretty decent night here. So far for the number 18, Thomas O'Connor.
We are past the halfway point here. We're getting ready for our third single file restart here in a row. Looks like we're going to keep the single file the rest of the way here tonight. But we're going to go ahead and step aside, give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love it.
20 laps to go here at Richmond in the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, the penultimate race before the chase. And I see another incident right there coming up as it's going to shuffle the order up here one more time. Some more pit stops, some more drivers coming in to get some tires, get some last little bit of go-go juice if they need it. But it is going to be Matthew Hake now, your new leader out front. Michael Garcia in second. Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, Dylan Jacobs, your top five as we're back underway. We got 19 laps to go here under the lights. Can we get this thing done under green flag conditions? It's already getting racy there towards the back, starting single file from about maybe lap 40 on here tonight because of the early cautions. But you see, it doesn't take too long until they're getting to 2 and even 3 wide racing.
Yeah, they get that good run. Breaking for Justin Potts, hold by Beer, going down to the inside, and Tiffany Ellis as well. Tiffany Ellis comes to a stop, keeps it off the wall, but we're still under green. That's big implications for those points leaders as they go down. And then we're here, Matthew Hake out front still, being chased by Michael Garcia and Dylan Emerson. 17 laps to go, Carl.
Yeah, Crash finally meets his match for Tiffany Ellis there on the front stretch. Just getting it back going here, already down a lap, but we're going to keep this thing going and rolling. There's quite a few drivers that came into the pits there on lap number 78. Dylan Emerson was one of them. It doesn't look like he took tires. Looks like, as the 83 smacks the wall, trying to keep it in front. But either way, the 6 is going to move out to the lead. A couple more cars behind that came in on lap 78, taking tires, still trying to work their way through the field. But man, these drivers doing everything they can to try and keep the speed in out of these corners. But that's really where it's been biting them here tonight, getting on that throttle, coming out of the corners. Again, the 83 smacking the wall on the exit.
Yeah, we can't make the track any wider. The barriers are there, but he's trying to get that Pokemon machine up there, trying to catch them all, but losing a few.
See what you did there.
Biggest mover of the race, though, number 33 in Boston. Making his way up to the field, up above the spots. But Dylan Emerson leads here as we're now at 14 laps. Dylan Jacob, Thomas O'Connor, Austin Smith, Kyle Emerson.
And Austin Smith, as mentioned before, he was the bubble boy, one of them coming in here tonight, coming in to tonight's race in 11th in the points. Actually, no, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong standings here. But he was, not too far above the points here. So one good finish here tonight could pretty much lock him in and let him go to Watkins Glen. Breathe a little maybe sigh of relief here. Thomas O'Connor came in 11th in the points with a win under his belt, but not exactly locked in and good to go. So the fact that he's running up there in 3rd here tonight in that GameStop number 18 is certainly where he would like to finish. I'm sure up here towards the front. Of course, he'd love to get the win here, but right now Dylan Emerson is out front. He's looking to try and crack through, get himself a win here tonight, and be his second win of the season as he won back at the Roval earlier on in July. So maybe setting up for back-to-back if he can win at the road course next week at Watkins Glen. But he's got to get it done yet here tonight. Dylan Jacobs has been fast as Hake now into the wall again. We got a little help out of the corner on that one as out of 26, struggling to get that car turned. He's going to get past on the inside here by the 25 now as well. As it is mighty racy. It is coming down to the end of it here at Richmond, down to 10 laps to go.
Yeah, the driver's starting to overdrive the corners just a little bit. You can see him kind of coming in there down to the inside, sliding but down in front of the 82, the 88, and the 82 locking it up and saves it. Good catch there by the number, the 82, Brian Roy. But yeah, that was close there between the 82 and the 88. Keeping it going here, just slowing it up maybe just a little bit too much, trying to get that car to rotate. But then when the front tires are angry, Carl, you have to bring that speed down in order to make that left-hand turn.
Well, it's the front tires you need to get into the corner, but we've seen these drivers light up the rear tires, unfortunately, more often than not here tonight, and that's what's brought out a lot of the cautions here, just trying to get them throttled a little bit too hard, a little bit too quickly out of the corners. But right now, it is all the Dylan show out front. It is Dylan Emerson leading the way by 0.6 of a second over Dylan Jacobs, Thomas O'Connor, Kyle Emerson, Austin Smith for your top 5, Sizemore, Hanley, Duncan, Joshua Smith, and Akron right now for your top 10. We'll see if we can get this thing done under green flag conditions. We got a few cautions again here tonight. I don't think we'll see any next week at Watkins Glen. I think it'll probably be good to go. We are going to see one more caution here tonight at least, because we're back under caution. Looks like the 25, Kelly Akron involved.
Let's see what happened. Looks like just a single car incident and just.
There it is again. Jay Bonin, just, you talk about a guy that can't catch a break here tonight.
No.
Gets a big old piece of the 25 here on this one.
Yeah, just 25 trying to correct, getting on the throttle too much. And wow, 88 clips the 25, and he's lucky he only clipped it by a little bit. So Cody Brewer just making it by there on this one here. But that's going to bring out another caution, like Carl said. And as we only have 5 laps to go, by the time we go back to, I think we're going to be, I don't know if it's going to be an unofficial green-white checker, but we might actually be an official green-white checker. We'll see as they line things up. We're at 5 right now, so they would need this lap, and lights might come out next on them. So yeah, they would, it's going to be a green-white check.
Yeah, it looks like Dylan Emerson's going to be the one that leads him back as Tiffany Ellis getting back on the lead lap. We'll see if she can get back around here and have enough time to come in the pits, maybe get 4 fresh tires on that Crash Bandicoot number 9 before we get this thing back underway and maybe a chance to drive up through the field. She's certainly nice and secure in the points. With some good early season success as well, but it is going to be interesting to see how this thing transpires here, because this is far from over, even though it's a green-white checkered. It looks like it's going to be an unofficial one here, as pace car lights should be out this time by, and yep, indeed they are, I believe. Looking from the back here, as we'll get this thing back underway. The 9 moving back into place here. Looks like I didn't have a chance to take tires on this one, but we're gonna get this thing back going here. Unofficial green, white checkered. We'll see if we can get this thing done in regulation. Actually, sorry, the pace car lights are not out, so we will have a green, white checkered take place on this one, as we should get the notification next time by. It's gonna be Dylan Emerson that will lead them back to this one. Most likely one more single file restart for this one. Keep an eye on the pace car and should get the word at this time by that it's one to go. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing. A lot of these cautions, they're quick laps under caution, but it's also a lot of laps under caution. I mean, we're taking good 4 or 5 laps at a time here under caution, and now the lights are out. It's green white checkered attempt number 1 of 3, so we may not be done just yet. We'll see who's got the hot shoe here in the final couple laps. Again, Emerson, Jacobs, O'Connor, Emerson, and Smith for your top 5 here on the restart.
Yeah, looking kind of get this thing going, but obviously not done. They're going to just go for it all, Carl. They haven't been holding back. You can tell by maybe getting on that throttle a little bit early, as we set a few cars around here tonight. But they're coming around out of turn number 3. We're going to look back from the leader here, Dylan Emerson, with Dylan Jacobs on the bumper there. We can see the nice little jump there that the 6 gets over the 5 and down in turn number 1 and out of 2. 5 looking on the outside, but the 6 holds it down to the inside. He works down the backstretch here. Still got a good run here, and I'm sure the 5 is going to try to keep battling and get that look here, see if he can open up an opportunity for a pass. But the 6 crossed the line for the white flag. One more lap to go.
I'm looking the outside here again, but Jacobs just can't get the thing to rotate enough through the corner. The 6 of Dylan Emerson doing a good job. Battle in the back is going to cause an incident by midfield. And now another incident heading into 3 as Kyle Emerson, Thomas O'Connor involved, and man, drivers smacking off each other here to the line. And I had a check there, but it is going to be Dylan Emerson, Kyle Emerson, Ryan Sizemore for your top 3 here tonight. Bumping and banging all the way. Short track racing at its best, at its worst, at its finest, whatever you want to consider it. Either way, that is your top 3 here tonight. But Dylan Emerson's going to be the one that survives the most here and is going to be able to celebrate on the front stretch.
The hostess here is the 6. Probably getting a win there. And, you know, we thought it was going to be maybe a not so good night for the 6. Being involved in a early incident. Putting that car back in the back of the pack, so had to make his way through here. But lots of things kind of perspired, you know, coming around through there. And I want us to go, I think this here's the incident. Let's see, was it right? Was it in front of him, or did it happen here? Oh, yeah, already happened here. So I need to click on this, pause, and go back to Austin Smith here, and you can see even right there something going on. So we will quarter play it here. There's the 08 underneath the 33, and kind of coming down. Still seeing if net goes involved, but no, it looks like the 08 comes up and gets into the 33, and the 77 into the 08, and the 33 just kind of losing it there. So these cars involved here, maybe 77 not making out too bad, at least being able to continue to go straight and pointing in the right direction, unlike the 8 going backwards. You know, maybe you can drive backwards to the end here to get this thing finished, but cars drifting up. Now he gets on it here, but oof, tough break there for number
Garcia
64. And then Tiffany Ellis coming through here as well and ends up tagging the 64. And just, yeah, once those cars get upset, they got upset here tonight to definitely put some damage on some of these vehicles. But back in action here, your winner is still out there celebrating. And we'll go ahead and drop some of these overlays down here and give you a rundown of tonight's race finishing order. And that will be the winner here tonight. Come on. Show. Dylan, like Carl said, Dylan Emerson, Kyle Emerson, and Ryan Sizemore. We'll see them here shortly up in the booth. And it's Thomas O'Connor, Josh Duncan, and Dylan Jacobs, Justin Potts, Cody Brewer, Dylan Large, and Matthew Haight in the top 10. Ron Millam, Michael Garcia, Joshua Smith, Austin Wells, Jay Monin, TJ Hanley, Austin Smith, Tiffany Ellis finishing back in 18th. And then for your rest of your field here tonight, back in 19th, Kelly Akron, Brian Roy, Bruce Spencer, Will O'Connor, and Cody Handler for your 23 drivers. Most drivers being up to finishing pretty well up there, except a few about making a little bit past the halfway mark, but then have to hang up the hat for the evening. So congratulations all the drivers, and again, I appreciate all the fans out there each and every week talking it up here tonight. Kathy and Barry and who else is out there? Wade was out there tonight, and Jared. Make sure I catch everybody. And looks like Sir Kid Gaming out there as well. So definitely just a shout out to everybody. Continues to come back here each and every week. And if you haven't already, and I know most of you do, hit that like and subscribe for us. Bell for some notifications if you want to know when we go live here at CRN, as we got plenty of racing still, as it is Wednesday night, which is the second race of 2, and tomorrow we'll have another double header. We'll have a VVR at with me and Carl, and then the GT3 with the core GT races over there. And then we'll be done until, is it Sunday? No. We'll have this Sunday off because we crowned Billy Rickett as a 191 champion.
Yeah, shout out on my side as well to Wade. I mean, it certainly didn't narrow it down too much by saying that there's a goofy broadcaster out there. Could have been either one of us, but mentioning that he's a pretty good dirt iRacer. I guess he must be talking about me in that one, and I know what he's talking about there, suggesting Tiffany as a painter to go to for getting some of his paints done. But either way, we got our top 3 here ready for some interviews here tonight. Third place here tonight, Jimmy, is going to go to a little bumping and banging at the end there to get it done. The 31, Ryan Sizemore.
Hey, Ryan, Jimmy, and Carl, open the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you all.
I mean, what a way to finish a race here. Obviously, it was filled with, cautions here and there, trying to make your way through the field. You started up front, so, you started up there on the front row, and you did end up bringing that number 31 here in P number 2, but you had to work for it, for sure, as people were kind of falling to the wayside in the mid pack, but you're able to get that 31 across the line here tonight for third. So give us a little rundown of your race and some of the strategy that you used to maintain your start position and then finish up here on the podium.
Thank you all. Honestly surprised at qualifying G2 like that. I wasn't expecting it, so it kind of changed my game plan heading into it. Really just trying to keep track position. I feel like passing was hard unless someone made a mistake in front of you, but just on raw speed, trying to get around somebody, it was pretty difficult. So just really trying to maintain that. I had one little hiccup trying to get to my brake bias and slam the wall. I had to take the fast repair, but worked my way back up. Good group of guys up there I was racing around. Really had to get everything I had, and like you said, it was wild. A lot of movement throughout the pack, but I did just keep eyes forward and tried to keep it out of trouble as much as I could.
You made the right decisions to complete the task at hand tonight. Obviously, short by 2 spots, but you still did a fantastic job in that fully involved is that RP machine here tonight. So definitely looked good out there and put on a great show. Just wanted to say congratulations, recognize your driving, and then give you some time for any shouts you may have in number 31.
All right, we appreciate that, really do. It was a fun race and can't wait to get back at it next week. Bunch of shout outs. One, fully involved RP, the entire server. We've got some of the best people in I would say the gaming community around us. So all the work they put in, day out, we appreciate it. So glad to put this on the broadcast for them. Charlie, Allison, all of them, really, just everyone that plays a part in it, really. And then Justin Potts, he painted my car. We kind of run the twin schemes tonight, so thank him for that. They look great out there. TJ Hanley, he's always there, you know what I'm saying? He got me into this league, got me racing, kind of pulled me out of retirement, if you will. So huge shout out to him. And obviously my papa, he's always the one that pushes me to do this racing thing. So appreciate everyone behind me in my corner and look forward to doing this again.
I really appreciate the shout outs. I'm sure everybody does as well. Again, congratulations on your finish here tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week. And we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Is your third place finisher here tonight, the 31 of Ryan Sizemore. Second place here tonight is going to go to Kyle Emerson in the 60. Kyle, you kind of slowly sneak your way up here at the end of this thing, and you kind of need to be methodical here tonight if you're going to finish up front or really just kind of finish this race. I know the car seemed like it was a handful coming out of these corners. It seemed like you had to really be ready to catch that car if it gets out of shape. It seemed like that the throttle was a little tough to get onto here tonight.
Oh yeah, it definitely was, and just trying to be as consistent as possible. I think that's what helped me. I gained so many positions in the last 2 runs we had. I felt comfortable. That last run it started to fall off, but not as much as Jacobs. He was having a tough time, and he was holding up Thomas, and I was like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna get second. And then the caution came out, and I'm like, there it went. And then it came back because Thomas took Jacobs out, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was one where you needed to pretend you're playing dodgeball. It seemed like not just from the other cars, but even from the track, kind of throwing balls at the there as well. But either way, you brought this thing home in second place here tonight, and certainly a good point tonight as you guys are getting closer to the chase. I mean, how do you feel about the chase coming up? This finish here is got to put you, pretty solidly in there in the hunt. I don't know if it fully locks you in there on points or not, but it's got to give you a good, warm, fuzzy feeling heading into Watkins Glen.
I am so excited for Watkins Glen next week. Like, that's what I've been looking for. That was circled on the calendar all year. I'm waiting for that track, and I hope it's a good one. But I'm comfortable, I guess. I'm just looking forward to racing and having fun. I really could care less about the points. I'm just here to race.
All right, buddy. Well, it sounds like calling your shot here a little bit for next week at Watkins Glen, but take some time to celebrate this one here with the second place tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Dalo's watching and my wife's sleeping behind me.
All right, buddy. Well, you can let her know when she wakes up that you got second place here tonight. Either way, we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Have a great one, guys.
You too, buddy. That is your second place finisher here tonight. Kyle Emerson in the 60 top spot here tonight. Took him a little bit to get to the front, but the 6 of Dylan Emerson gets to celebrate as the victor.
Hey, Dylan, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. I got you both.
You know, you had a long, actually, I thought a pretty long journey here tonight, being involved in a super early incident, putting that 6 towards the back of the field. And I thought for sure that the 6 was going to be one of those ones that got caught up maybe here and there with all the self-spins that we had here tonight that were bringing out cautions as the drivers were getting a little happy on the throttle on exit. But you catch the cautions at the right time, you get the car in the right position, and maybe some tools and trinkets in that belt that you're wearing there in that Batman machine was able to put it there up in front. But give us a little rundown of your race and what was kind of, I mean, you completed your goal here tonight, but what was your, I guess, trick of the trade? Give us a trick of the trade here on how you got that 6 to the victory lane.
A lot of people like to say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? But geez Louise, going into turn 3 lap 1, I was just like, nope, here we go. This is fun. We're having fun. This is so much fun. I was like, all right, let's try not to take the fast repair. And I had 9 minutes of repair time. And I'm like, oh no, I got to come back in and use this fast repair. And I'm like, I'm going to end up wrecked out early. This is not good. I love this track. I hate this track. What's going on here?
Heads are falling off. Yeah.
Exactly. And we were getting those rashes of cautions. And I'm like, oh no, this is what's going to happen. Okay. And then we decided to go single file. And I'm like, you know what? I'm taking 4 tires here. I'm going to see what happens. Maybe we actually go long and I can squeak by a few people, have a little bit more fuel, last a little longer. And then we got a caution right at the time. I didn't want one. I'm like, I got to go right sides. I have to, if I'm going to make up this track position, I have to do right sides here. So I took right sides on the last 2 stops and thankfully was able to leapfrog a bunch of people doing that. And was able to get to the lead. Once I got the lead, it was game over. I was finally had that clean air, finally was able to drive my line, and it was just game over. And then the caution with 5 to go, I was like, no, you gotta be kidding me. What's going on here? But thankfully I got a good jump, was able to hold Dylan off there and beat Kyle again in another Emerson 1-2.
Yeah, it's always good to see the Emersons up there 1-2 are right next to each other, and Carl's always pinning the brothers against each other.
Not to jump in here, but does that make Kyle Robin here tonight?
It does.
It's a little fuel to the fire.
See, he's always trying to pin the brothers against each other, no matter what league we're in. But so get some kind of story up here in the booth. But no, you did a great job, man. Coming back and like you said, against all odds. The tricks of the trade, just keep at it, and I can seen it here tonight, and you put that number 6 here on victory lane before you guys head off. I think next week you got Watkins Glen. So, how you feeling about next week? Is sounded like Kyle was calling the shots.
Yeah, well, Kyle didn't win the Roval, I did, so he's gonna have to go through me to win Watkins Glen. I want to be the road course ringer here.
Shots fired back. You hear it here, Carl. We can start the story now for next week. Right?
So, my hands together. I'm like,
but it was a great run as always. Guys are always entertaining. Cautions or no cautions. Obviously, we like no cautions better, but you guys always put on a great show. Cars look great for your guys' video game night here at Richmond. So we just want to go ahead and say congratulations on your finish and give you some time for any shouts you might have at number 6.
Yeah, I want to thank Tiffany for the awesome Batman Arkham Asylum video game paint scheme on the number 6 tonight. I love it. I love all the schemes she does for me. Can't wait for the next one. When is the next one, actually?
The special event? I don't know when your guys' next special event. All I know is you guys are going to watch.
Our next one is September 2nd, movie night at Talladega. So that'll be a fun. I got a good one for you guys. I hope you like it.
We'll be definitely looking forward to seeing what kind of paint is showing on that number 6 for sure. Man, I just appreciate the shout outs. Like I said, and again, congratulations on your victory here tonight, and look forward to seeing if you can be the ringer of the road races this season here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Is your winner here tonight as the Dark Knight rises, and number 6, Dylan Emerson, is your winner here tonight, beating his long-hated brother Kyle in the race here at Richmond. But this was a good one. I mean, we had some green flag racing out there tonight. It's short tracks. You kind of expect some cautions here and there, and Richmond was really biting back here tonight. It was really hard for these drivers to get on the throttle out of the corners. It was impossible for them to correct it on the backstretch. If they were down on the bottom, you had to keep it on the bottom, and these drivers just wanted to kind of bring it up the track a little bit to set it up for turn number 3, and the track said no every single time, and we've seen a lot of cars snap to the right because of it. But either way, a lot of drivers licking their wounds here tonight. We'll go to Watkins Glen. We'll see how the points look as well. We'll keep an eye on that bubble, see who those 12 drivers are going to be after next week, because next week at Watkins Glen is it. The regular season will be over after next week, and we'll head to the chase. But you're going to have to tune into CRN to see that one. Keep an eye on CRN tomorrow night, as we'll have the doubleheader with VVR and Core GT to finish out the week, and then as Jimmy said, we'll be off until Tuesday night for the Core O'Reilly series for myself and Jimmy from the Richmond Raceway. We'll see you at the track.